So we got the project up in the air because what I plan to do here is I want to take my old factory steering rack out. This is a 1980 Thunderbird. I want to take this out and replace it with our new SN95 steering rack. So basically updated, nice new unit. This will fit with our lower control arms, because when I put the BMR control arms in here, what it did is it moved the steering knuckles out an inch or more, because the old system, that's why I had to build these coupling nuts here, because I needed more engagement of the thread, 9/16 fine thread, into our outer tie rod, right? So yeah, so I needed more engagement, so that's why we've got a coupling nut here that basically connects everything to make the factory steering rack work with our new lower control arm. So this is, again, updated, better handling, better everything. And now the last piece of this whole thing is get a new steering rack in there, and that's over here, the SN95. So of course you can see I've got the AN fittings on here for our high pressure in. This is the low pressure return, the one on top. It comes with PTFE O-rings, as you can see here in the instructions. So this kit from Maximum Motorsports, you can probably get any generic kit. I just got it because I was there. ST-73, so they give you two different colors. So the gold one here, that's your pressure, and the black one is the return. And again, these O-rings here, PTFE. So what they say in the instructions, guys, is drop these things into some warm water to expand them, so it's easier to put them on. I didn't do that, of course, I just kind of threaded them on. But yeah, I should have read the instructions. Put them in warm water to expand them, and they'll just slide on, and then just tighten these, just snug them up, don't go too tight, because this is an aluminum body, easy to strip the threads. And then the big thing that makes this whole system work is our MMST-13. That's our steering shaft here. As you can see here, it's no longer a spline connection. You see that? It's got that geometry there, so there's no splines here. So basically, and there's also no rag joint, so we've eliminated that, so there should be better road feel. So how that goes on here, just like this. You see that? That goes on like that, then hooks up to our existing system in the car. You don't need, I can do everything from outside the car. And yeah, so that's what you got to get. They build this thing specifically for this job, to take a SN95 steering rack and transplant it into a 79 to 93 Mustang. Yeah, that fits. So yeah, so that's what you want to do. So you want to get that, this steering shaft, and of course the fittings to make everything way easier. So yeah, so that's they build this piece, Maximum Motorsports, again MMST-13. You buy this to make your old system or your old car work with a new or a newer steering for better road feel, handling, all that stuff, right guys? So there's no more rag joints, or you're going to get better road feel and stuff like that. So yeah, so we'll put this in, and then I'll shoot the second half of this video. So we're going to rip this old thing out, and yeah, so anyways, so the fastener here is actually, I think it's a 24 actually, yeah. So yeah, so these are the, here we go. So it's a 24 and a 21. Yeah, so the one on the outside of the K, remember right here, it's a 24 mil. So you get that on there, and then you get this guy here, which is a 21 on the other side, and you take this fastener out, take that fastener out. I've already loosened the splines. I got the fastener out of that, and it's right here. You can see that? So the splines are already loosened. So yeah, so we'll get this rack out, and then I'll put the new one in, and then we'll show you when it's all done. All right. And I just wanted to show you, since I have the old steering shaft out, and of course it's a spline connection with a rag joint right here, as compared to the new one that doesn't have a rag joint anymore. So you're going to get a lot better road feel. It feels more sports car, better handling and stuff like that. As you can see, I got it in. And to make this work, guys, since this is a 1980 Thunderbird, the A-arms here, the BMRs, they actually moved the steering knuckle and the ball joint in 1 inch. So in actual fact, this was a little bit too long. I didn't have enough adjustment here on my outer control arms. So what I had to do, guys, is I had to cut 800 thou off each side, just so I would have enough adjustment, and my outer control arms could slide into my ball joints, because they were basically maxed out before, because the threaded portion of the inner control arm went all the way in. So I had to cut 800 thou off. So now I have, enough adjustment here, so we can adjust our alignment and everything like that. So I had to cut 800 thou off each threaded inner tie rod to make this work, because as it was from the factory, and here's the pieces right here, it was a little bit too long. So now I have nice adjustment. So what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna pop this guy on there, and the steering wheel is centered now. So I think this thing comes, yeah, this piece comes out right here. So we'll get this on, and then I'll show you when I'm finished. So this slides in, then you've got your bolt here. This was part of the old one here. You know, your nut and your bolt that holds everything together. And we'll get this guy on, and the steering wheel is centered, and I'll just again, you know, make sure everything's centered and straight, and hopefully the alignment is good from where it was, but we'll see. SN95 is what we got now. It's the way to go. Looks good, simple. Don't have to fuck around with the coupling nuts and all that bullshit. We'll have a good steering shaft, better road feel, all that stuff, right, guys? Right, guys, so basically our SN95 steering rack is installed, as you can see here. We've got our MMST-13 steering shaft here from Maximum Motorsports. So I can already feel it from just the steering wheel. It's instant response, right? There's no lag or anything like in the old rack right here, you can see. So this is the old shaft here on the ground, guys. So that's the it's a spline connection. Here's the rag joint. So yeah, so that old shit's gone. And again, this thing, I believe it was about a 3 3¼ turn lock to lock. So a 20-to-1 ratio or something like that. So this guy is actually 2.5 lock to lock. So it's actually a 15-to-1 or quick ratio, so way better. It's going to be, you know, handle like a Mustang basically, because it's essentially the same steering rack as in our Mustang or SN95s. So that's real nice. And I can already tell that there's a really nice positive feel to the steering. Like there's no slop, no nothing. So as soon as you turn the wheel, you get a reaction down here, as you can see. And I'll take you in the car in a second here and show you. Right, so I'll show you the steering revolutions lock to lock. All right, guys. Okay, so anyway, so right now the wheels are perfectly straight, as you saw by the rotors and everything else. So I just put this piece of tape here with a black mark. So let's turn it all the way to the driver's side. So we'll go, should be about 1¼ or something like that, right? Approximately. So just watch up here. There's 1, and it should be about 1/4. Yeah, right there. Okay, so that's 1¼ Okay, perfect. Because it's 2.5 total. And then we'll go back the other way, all the way to the passenger side. So just remember where it was. We'll see how far we pull this point. So it'll go right here, and then it should end up somewhere over here, right? So let's just do this. So lock to locks. 1. There's 2. So it should come up down here somewhere, and there should be about 1/2. Yep, right there. So 2.5, right, guys? Yeah, perfect. So now let's go back the other way and see if we can get it centered. So it should be about 1.25. So just remember where that green mark was, or the black mark. There's 1. It should be up here somewhere. Well, it'll be like right there, because this thing, the steering, the horn is exactly straight, right? So now the wheels are exactly straight. So again, 2.5 lock to lock, or 15-to-1 ratio. So that's nice, and it feels really good, really positive. As you can see, rotors are lined up perfectly, and that worked out well. Yeah, so this is installed now, guys. So yeah, I'll give you some feedback once I get it on the road and everything like that, and we can do some testing. So that was the SN95 steering rack install in our 93 or 79 to 93 Fox bodies. So it's yeah, it's actually really nice. Anyways, guys, appreciate the support, and thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned some tricks here. And again, Maximum Motorsports are the guys who make that that shaft right there, this thing here. So that's what's required, so you can adapt your existing steering shaft coming out of your firewall to the new SN95 steering rack, because there's no longer a spline connection over here. Anyways, guys, appreciate the support, and again, thanks for watching, and until next time.